Hey guys, how's it going? This is Kuya Review coming at you with another movie review. This time it's going to be on Clint Eastwood's new movie, Sully. And it was a really good movie. It stars Tom Hanks, so go see it. I just saw it yesterday. It came out like a week or so ago, so I was late seeing it. So this is going to be a spoiler-filled review. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, go check out a different video. But come on, it's Tom Hanks. You should have seen it already. The guy could like dance around naked and he's giving you an amazing performance. So you need to go see this movie. Basically, it stars, of course, Tom Hanks as Captain Sully. He's the dude that flew the plane in the Hudson River. And then his co-pilot, Aaron Eckhart. Their chemistry was really great. It pulled me out of my seat from the first few seconds of the scene. Where you see the plane coming in, it crashes, and I'm like, what the freak is going on? And he wakes up from a dream. I'm like, oh, it's just a dream. So this movie has a lot of that. You're already inside the whole action where after he flew the plane and he's already being scrutinized by this huge company that's saying, hey, you should have never landed your plane in that river, fool. Now we're going to take you down. So he gets a lot of meat from man versus society, man versus man kind of thing. And it's hashed with a lot of flashbacks and dream sequences, and he gets like PTSD, I think, because there's one scene, I think in like halfway through the first act, where he's looking outside the building and he's awake, fully awake. And he sees the plane crashing into one of the buildings. All this sequences with planes crashing into stuff was all in his dreams. Now he's awake and he's seeing planes crashing. And I was like, okay, this movie's gonna be pretty intense and pretty serious. Because I guess this is Clint Eastwood's shortest movie, it starts off right into the action and he tells the story with flashbacks and references and dream sequences and all that stuff. And how Tom Hanks loves aviation. Back then it showed him when he was a little kid flying his first plane to flying a military jet and all that stuff. So you get all that, those flashbacks, and then plus the dreams and PTSD. The composition itself was kind of scattered in that sense, but it still told a cohesive story. So that's the only critique I really have for it. Other than that, it was well directed, well casted. Clint Eastwood did an amazing job. I wish there was more arc with Sully and his wife, because his wife was one of the bigger supporters. Especially coming from a wife that thinks that his husband is, being trialed for something that she believes that he made the right call. What I loved about this movie was the fact that it used evidence to tell the story. I was a little jit when this happened, and I was actually talking to my auntie in New York when it happened. I didn't really read into it. I just saw the news and I'm like, oh, some dude landed a plane in the Hudson River and saved a ton of people. And then a few weeks later, now he's being scrutinized and being criminalized. I wonder if they're gonna make a movie. Thanks, Clint Eastwood, for the amazing movie. It's based on a true event. But yeah, the facts definitely seems like they stand up, and it seems like they use the actual facts from the evidence where, they went to trial. They bashed Tom Hanks with all these things that he could have done. They used simulators, and they told the jury, or whoever's viewing the trial, whoever these other peoples are, that they could have done it this way or that way. And Tom Hanks is like, you took the human aspect out of it, so you didn't put the human aspect inside these simulations. How many times have these pilots flew this simulator? He comes back with his analogy and stuff like that, and they're like, well, it doesn't matter how many times, because you could have done the same thing. It's like, no, you dehumanized the whole simulation, back and forth. And so then, they redid the whole simulations, and it proved that he couldn't have made it back to any airport whatsoever without causing an accident. And then other facts such as both engines were lost, and Sully basically won that case, and it ended on such a great and happy note. I wish there was more of a big hooray at the end, but I did like the whole post-credit scene where it showed that the real actual Captain Sully and his 155 crew members saying that they're connected in a way because of that flight. I love that. That was really cool. So if you haven't heard the telling of Miracle on the Hudson, it's basically what it is a U.S. Airways airline, and Captain Sully, who's piloting the plane, basically leaves LaGuardia with 155 passengers. And just as they leave LaGuardia, they take off, and they're already in the air, everyone's unbuckled and whatever, but they're not far from New York yet. And as this happens, a flock of seagulls, not the band, but a flock of seagulls and a flock of birds just basically come crashing into the plane and taking out both engines on the plane. So Captain Sully basically has to make a tough call, tough decision from flying back to LaGuardia to see he could make it back, and also or going try different other airports around the area, or landing it in the Hudson River. And of course he chooses the most epic way to do it. He lands it in the frickin' river. Of course that came out back to bite him and everything, but still it was the toughest call, and you see that in the movie because you definitely feel the emotion when Tom Hanks gives his performance when he's actually in the cockpit and he feels like he is, you know, trying everything he can to save these people's lives. And I love the fact that the people on the plane supported him so much, because after 9/11 and all the plane crashing and then no one's flying through within that those gap years where everyone's afraid to fly and all that stuff, and then you have this guy who's saying brace for impact, we're about to hit water. It's like, what's gonna happen? Are you gonna live? Are you gonna die? It's like I would like scream like a little girl. I'd probably just blow my own head off first before I even die. Like, screw this, I just want to die quickly and just get it over with. But you know, these people were just so supportive of their captain, and the only people that were really scrutinizing Captain Sully was the aviation organization or whatever that's basically coming back with all these evidence against him and doing these simulations and stuff. But anyways, like I said, this was a really great movie by Clint Eastwood. It is his shortest movie yet, so there were a little bit of congruencies within the scenes. But aside from that, like I said, it was a well-casted movie. It's a well-told story. But yeah, that is my review for Sully by Clint Eastwood. Rate, comment, subscribe if you like my channel, of course. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video.